Well, hello and welcome, my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Twin Flame contract read for January, February 2020. Actually, I might as well say February 2020 now, like February 1st, right around the corner, in bulk on Sunday. Major pagan Sabbath. I am your reader for the moment, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, and president of Drawing the Circle Productions. Very, very happy to meet you and read you for your Twin Flame contract in February 2020, though timeless, whenever you are supposed to see it. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers so that I can monetize, so that I can do super live chat, and so that I can do drunk tarot once a month for the first couple of months once I can super live chat. There is a video in the description box below called Clarifying Drunk Tarot, explaining what that means to me, and I think you'll like it. It is my favorite video that I did of 2019, so go have a look-see-dooksy. I'm sure you will want to like and subscribe if you watch that video, or just trust me, I'm the fun one. Which YouTuber is he? He's the fun one. Yeah. That being said, let's get down to business. This is a general read, so not every card that hits the table may resonate, right? For that to happen, you need to be sitting across the table from me, either literally, as I have clients come to my house here, or I, read around Long Island. I am from New York. Or we can video chat, right? I do Skype readings. I do a lot of Facebook Messenger video call chats. Those are fun because the quality of it is just really wonderful, just gotta say. So if you're not gonna get a private read with me, info in the box for that too, please just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. That's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for any of the relationship-based reads that I do, particularly soul contracts like Soulmate and Twin Flame, which, by the way, they are different. They are not the same thing. They're both soul contracts, sure. If you think of yourself as a soul that was chosen to play the role in the body that you're currently in with the name that you were, given into this life, even if you've changed it, right? The name and the body that you identify as in this life, well, there are certain contracts that came along, certain agreements you had to make with other souls. Now, Soulmate and Twin Flame, not the same thing, as I've said. There are a couple of videos in the description box again below, one that I did, and one by a spiritual teacher by the name of Matt KAHN. Matt KAHN, All for Love is his video channel, and it's amazing. It's been extremely helpful to me personally, as well as helped me clarify some things professionally to make my work a little bit more effective as a Virgo. So go check those out. But the essential difference between the two soul contracts, soulmates are the ones that really everybody wants, right? Those are the satisfying, sometimes sexual, romantic, but not always. The myth that you only have one twin flame or one soulmate is ridiculous. You may have hundreds of them over so many lifetimes you lose count. And the soulmates are, you help each other heal. Those are, even in the romantic sense, those are the ones that people really yearn for and want, but it takes a lot of twin flames to get ready for that kind of soulmate, though you have soulmates throughout your life. Think of the people in your life where you help each other heal, right? Like my mom is my soulmate, and certainly not my only one, right? I've had lots of people in my life, reason, season, or lifetime. Soul contract doesn't mean your entire life, right? Reason, season, lifetime, they come in. You help each other heal. You fulfill the contract and you move on. And with soulmate contracts, they're easy. They just sort of like, you go your own ways. And yeah, there may be some sadness and some tears at the parting, but it always works itself out. Even arguments tend to work themselves out. Not so much with twin flames, which is these reads we're doing. You teach each other how to love yourselves, right? By usually not giving each other the love that you really want. Now, the truth of the matter is every twin flame contract that I can consciously identify for me in this life had some sort of past life connection to it. But it was all about me learning how to love myself, how to respect myself, how to set boundaries, right? To give myself the love that only I could give myself, right? And that's what twin flames are for. My father was a twin flame contract. He was never going to get the Catholic, Republican, heterosexual son that he wanted out of me. He got that out of my brother Matthew, pretty much. Well, my brother's Matthew, I'm Mark. My parents had stayed married, there would have been Luke and John. And what if they were girls? Catastrophe. You with me on that? Yeah. So because of my relationship with my dad, he crossed the summer in between high school and college for me, bless his heart. We loved each other. You can absolutely love the twin flame people in your life, but get what the contract is for. Heal yourself, love yourself, and bless them even if from afar, if you need to get the F away from them every now and again or permanently. Sometimes that's how it plays out. So that being said, that's what this reading is for. It is a contract read. And just like we were going to read a contract, we're going to have party number A and party number B, which we're going to call Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, just because that's what's in the vernacular on YouTube and in general. Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine has nothing to do with physical body gender at all. I am a male. I was born male. I still am. I still identify as a male. But I'm a gay male with a Pisces moon and Virgo sun, and I'm a professional intuitive. I'm a witch, and I pray to the goddess. And yeah, I'm Divine Feminine. Well, percentage-wise, right? Let's say 60-40. It's probably very generous. But, you know, put me around the right guy, and I am daddy top with with no gag reflex, which makes no sense. Why I have no gag reflex, I just don't. For a top. You never know. It might come in handy when you're married. That being said, the last thing I want to say here, once you've identified who you are, the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, to remember to breathe, right? In this reading, the more we are all conscious of our breath, partnering with our breath, being in the present moment, being in that still point. It's like that free meditation break. But in that still point is where the divine resides, and that's where the readings I do come from. That's where I'm getting my guidance and my grace. My spiritual practice, just to line myself up to do this work every day, it's a lot. I mean, it's not spiritual obedience, busy work, but it really does form itself every day to bring myself into alignment so that I can do this, so I don't burn out, so that I can translate the divinity in the present moment into words and through divination systems. If you're doing the same thing, you're tuning to the same vibration, the same guidance, grace, chakra, prana, chi, whatever you want to call it, that I am. So it's easier for you to intuitively sense what's yours and what isn't by what's happening in your body while you're breathing, staying in the present moment. Cool, cool. All right, that was a lot of preamble, but it's sort of necessary for reads like this, particularly because this is soul stuff, and twin flames suck, but they're necessary, right? They are the crucible that holds you in the center of the furnace for your own spiritual, physical, emotional, mental relationship transformation shit that you came in to do. And as you heal, we all heal. As I heal, we all heal. We're all one, right? So it's all in service to the planet. So isn't that amazing? Your most turbulent, tricky, transformative, triggery, toxic relationships, as you learn how to heal yourself, and you do heal yourself, as you learn how to love yourself and you love yourself, you're helping all of humanity. You're helping all of life in the quantum field. That's what these readings are for. We good? Nice deep breath. Still point. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. 2 cards, please. One for the Divine Feminine and one for the Divine Masculine in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for January, February 2020, or timeless whenever they need it, please. For the Sag collective, one for the Divine Feminine, what is her dominant archetype, the soul power she's alchemizing in this contract. Show me the Divine Masculine, same thing. What's his soul power, his dominant archetype that he is alchemizing from lead to gold, shadow to light? That's what the contract is for, so that you both heal yourselves. Ready? Now, before I flip these over, we're going to see who our Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine are. Keep in mind, all archetypes are neutral. They are neutral, they are neutral, they are neutral, meaning they're a balance of shadow and light, positive and negative, lead and gold. So as we flip these over, keep in mind, as toxic as the shadow is as brilliant as the light is, and vice versa. So if they trigger you, good. Pay attention to that. And remember, in twin flames, because they're twins, you might relate to both sides. And we're all one, essentially. So, ready? Here we go. Who we looking at here? Ooh, we've got the Divine Feminine Guide archetype. Oh, and this one returneth. The Divine Masculine Orphan Child archetype. Now, we will talk about the Divine Masculine in a bit because the Orphan Child archetype is so essential to life right now, but we'll get there. Let's talk about the Guide archetype. Now, the Guide archetype actually can fit into two different families simultaneously, the Wisdom family as well as the Divine family. It kind of depends on the type of guide, you could say, but the soul power is essentially the same. The way this card is written, and I agree with it, it leans more towards the divine side, and you'll see what I mean, right? So keeping in mind the shadow and the light. The shadow attribute for this Divine Feminine places financial gain and control over parting spiritual insight, right? So it's not just imparting wisdom. Wisdom comes from experience. The guide is a little bit different than, say, the teacher who passes on what she has learned. This is about spiritual insights. And, you know, what I charge for reading, I have the guide archetype, obviously. I'm guiding people my whole fucking life. Strangers walking up to me on the streets for directions, right? It's like I'm a magnet for that shit. I don't mind it. I prefer to be a teacher, but whatever. Like what I charge, I'm $100 an hour for a reading. By the way, if you want a half hour, it's $50. If it's a party for 3 hours, it's $300. I do it to keep the math easy, all right? But there are people out there who are charging $350 for an hour reading. Really? Really? Places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Now look, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. If you got it like that, if you can swing it like that, that's wonderful. But if your shit just picked up a book on divination a month ago and you're doing that shit, wow. What gods are you praying to? Because I need to at least check in with mine on that, right? So to impart that in the shadow, you get what I'm meaning. It's like, so you exact control over the person. Well, I'm not telling you this until you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and pay me, right? No, it's not great. The light attribute, what we're shooting for here in this twin flame contract for the Divine Feminine, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. In other words, to know that the divine is really in everything. You know, I went to that Sunday school stuff as a Christian, as a little kid, confraternity, I think they called it at the time, and Catholic. And God is everywhere. God is everything, and God is love. Class number 1. No, again, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. That was the 70s, okay? A lot has evolved, a lot has changed, but that's what stuck. God is everywhere. God is love. God loves everybody. You can't say except... except he's not in God is everywhere, God is everywhere, which of course out of my 6-year-old mouth said, well then why do we need to go to church if God is everywhere? I can do it from my bedroom. Which is what I do now. So there we go. Mystic. How you might be a mystic, right? So keep that in mind. The tuning to the experience of Divine Feminine, you kind of have a hand up here because you could say, okay, this twin flame contract, the divine is guiding me through it. I don't have to like it. I don't have to enjoy it, but I can embrace it. And I can say, all right, what do I got to learn here? Guide me through it because I'm being made a guide for others, perhaps even to this child archetype, Divine Masculine. Let's talk the orphan child. I have a good dose of the orphan. Everybody has the child archetype, right? It's one of the 4 survival archetypes in the survival family. The child, the victim / victor. Remember, it's light and dark, all of them. The saboteur, which I call the light side, the empowerer, right? Because you're either going to sabotage yourself or someone else, or you're going to empower them, right? Decision there. Totally the guardian of decisions. And the prostitute archetype, which is not about being a hooker so much as it's about negotiating the truth of who you are, your self-esteem for comfort, right? Giving up your faith in yourself or in a divine plan and doing something that you know isn't congruent with your soul. So those 4, the child archetype is the only one that has sub-archetypes in it. That may not ultimately be true. That's just what I've studied. And I've been studying this for over 20 years. I've been studying Jungian psychology since I was 19 years old, just as a side hobby, right? So the orphan, all of our major fictional heroes, most of them, I won't say all of them, most of them, orphans, right? Like, oh, please, just go through the DC Marvel list, right? Like Spider-Man, Kal-El, the ultimate orphan, until Kara Zor-El came along, obviously. The bottled city of Kandor, then you're not technically a species orphan, the last Kryptonian, right? Batman, Harry Potter, Dorothy Gale, oh, pick a Disney movie, right? All of them, there's at least one parent or no parent, right? So all about having to find their own way. So get that the orphan archetype, I have a good dose of it, though I was not literally orphaned. That's a whole other different story. But, you know, when you're the only gay, blue-eyed witch in the tribe anywhere, really easy to stick out like a sore thumb. What do they call it? The redheaded stepchild. That's like the orphan archetype. So let's read the shadow here. It's fucking terrifying. Feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, right? So you feel abandoned and it stifles you are. It's like soul retrieval. You leave a piece of yourself in the past and it cannot mature. It stifles maturation. Seeking inappropriate surrogate families, which Lord knows I did. If I got some stories, I mean, oh my God, have I been in with different circles. That's why my company is called Drawing the Circle Productions, because I have all these different circles of people that my work draws them all together, even like friends and family, all part of the circle, so to speak, right? So you can feel the pain, the agony of that, and the immaturity of it in the shadow. The light, what this contract is helping the divine masculine get to here: independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering the fear of surviving, which is absolutely part of the hero's journey, particularly if the hero is an orphan. In one way, shape, or form, oh my God, they're totally showing me Luke Skywalker too. I mean, is it a spoiler at this point? Let me not spoil it, just in case the last person on the planet who's watching this video does not know how that ends. Orphans. So keep that in mind, right? It's like the beautiful thing of independence based on going it alone. What I love about me having the orphan is I really didn't have to check with anybody about being a witch or being gay. It's like, this is who I am. I'm going to come out to you, and it's going to hurt if you reject me, but it's not like they had a say. When I teach the orphan archetype in classes, I say, you know, you rarely find an orphan archetype on the cheerleader team or on the football team, right? Because if they want to make a change in their life, even if a cheerleader wants to change her hair, unless she has the orphan archetype, she's got to go, what do you think? And what do you think? And should I do this? And should I do this? And should I do this? Where the more rebellious type tends to be the orphan child. And if not rebellion, just like, I don't care what you all think. Nice dose of that, but no planets in Sagittarius, so this ain't my read. Cool. So you get who we're dealing with here. So a guide and an orphan child, that's a pretty heavy-duty dynamic, but keep in mind, it's probably an adult, right? It's probably an adult, not a literal child. And by the way, with those two archetypes, first two down, no indication that those two, that this is a romantic sexual contract. There are cards that I'm in the decks that I'm working with that will spell that out if needed. But remember, this can take any shape or form. Could be romantic sexual. Remember, I'm reading hundreds of thousands of people in quantum collectives of zodiac and planetary placement. It's a lot. So let's take a nice deep breath. We're going to use the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack to get one of the problem suit of cards to see what's the problem currently going on in this contract, as well as a piece of luck, healing, or grace in one of those three suits to sort of help whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine. Love yourself, heal yourself, learn. Cool? Nice deep breath, my darlings. Here we go. Breathe fire for me, Sagittarians. Still point. My Ascended Masters of Soul contracts, my Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Soul contracts, please. One card in clarity for the Sagittarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for January, February 2020, or timeless, please. What's going on here? What is the problem? What is the current problem aspect? The grain of sand in the belly of the oyster that can make a pearl of wisdom for this divine masculine, divine feminine, as well as, can you please give us One card for the piece of luck, the piece of healing, or the piece of grace. Some clue, tip, or hint for this Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, January, February 2020. Timeless, please. A little help for them, my masters of twin flame contracts. Let's see what we're dealing with here. The lead, if you will, control. Sorry, I had a Janet Jackson moment. Wow, okay, control. Either side could be that. Who the hell doesn't have control issues, by the way? Anybody who thinks they don't have control issues, I tend to think is either delusional, lying, or both. But you're lying to yourself, at least. Because everybody's got their issue of control somewhere. Right? Like, for instance, my control issue is I don't like being controlled. Right? And if someone has a controlling personality, that's my control issue. It's like, what the fuck? Excuse... Did I mention I have the orphan child archetype? Not the only child. I've got the nature child, the magical child, the divine child. Boy, do I have the divine child. Probably more dominant than that one in my chart, personally. Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear, my dear. The piece of luck is true love. Now, is that saying this is a true love relationship? Maybe, maybe not. Yes, there are twin flames that may be hybrids, twin flame soulmate hybrids, where they start off as twin flames and they evolve into soulmates. According to Matt KAHN, that's where I learned that from. The video is in the description box, that one. I'm telling you, I put good shit in my description boxes. Go check it out. I learned a lot from that one. And the thing is you're not going to know. You're not going to know. Just do what's in front of you. Eat what's on your plate. If it really is something that transforms into a true love partnership, then you had to go through the furnace of the twin flamer to get to that. However, this might also be saying that for both of these people, the divine feminine guide and the divine masculine orphan, that they're both on the path of true love, even if this is not their true love partner, that it's good to know that it's lucky. It's like, this is a lucky relationship that you're in. You need this one. You need this one, whether you end up being that for each other or not, that this is essential to the path of true love. In other words, you becoming true love. This is of a higher spiritual caliber, and of course it would be Sagittarius, your 9th house, your spirituality and expansion. This is about embodying divine love as unconditional true love, no falsities, no separation. And in a true love romantic context, that's the implosion of agape and eros. Check that shit out. Google it. We're going to ask the angels now. With the Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Since it's called the Healing of the Angels Oracle, my angel said, well then, one card each, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. Well, what is the healing angel? What is the healing with the angels being provided for each of them individually, right? Nice deep breath. Still point. My angels, please, one card. Sorry, two cards. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. It's a very, very high arrow I just shot with that breath. Please, my angels, two cards. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine in this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for January, February 2020 are timeless. Please. What is the healing with the angels for this divine feminine? Right? What is the healing being offered with the angels for the divine feminine? What is the healing with the angels being offered for this divine masculine? Let's see. Manifestation and focus. Okay, so the manifestation of the guide might be like, all right, control it or not, buddy, I'm headed for true love. Because let's face it, the guide might have a very, very strong intuitive sense, may not be able to always put it into words, but the divine feminine guide is probably going to have more of an intuitive yin process going on here. So that process of manifestation, it's like, I'm feeling it, right? It came as an inspiration, I chose it, element of fire. I thought about it, I guess, first. Element of air, I chose it. Element of fire, I can feel it in my water. I can feel it in my emotional field. It's coming into manifestation, but keep in mind, Divine Feminine, the angels are telling you, you manifest the inspiration because you were ready for it. You manifested the thought, you received it, you chose it, you've been chewing on it, you want it, you added fire to it, you manifested the desire, now you're feeling the emotion, you manifested the emotion. So it's not like it's not like you're waiting for a manifestation. It's already working itself through your system. Pay attention to how you feel your guidance, your grace, your gut, your gods. Big time. Because you might not be able to communicate it to the orphan archetype anyway. Because what's he got? Focus. Now focus on what? Focus on control? I mean, I'm not trying to make the Divine Feminine the happy, healthy, wonderful one, and the Divine Masculine orphan a petulant little fuck. No. But there are control issues at work here, and it might be that, like, I get that with that orphan child. It's like, go control your own self, right? So there's a focus there. All right, and they say the timelines will clarify that a bit more on both sides. So let's do that. So we got that. The healing angel of manifestation for the Divine Feminine guide. The healing angel of focus. It's like focus, orphan child. There is something afoot here, right? So here, there, and everywhere, which I'm not going to throw shade on a Sagittarian while I'm reading them. But y'all are mutable fire. So if this is the Divine Masculine is the Sag here, then it's like flaming arrows. Oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. Yes, it's a momentary focus, but have you cast your net too far afield? Are you distracted? Are you overwhelmed? Do you need a rest? Do you need a nap, kid? We all need a nap, right? Every now and again, right? So focus. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to get simple timelines, past, present, future, using Daughters of the Moon as the voice of the goddess, half of the energy of the universe, the Divine Feminine half. And we're going to use the Mythic Tarot, same thing, past, present, future, basic timeline for the Divine Masculine, using the voice of the God, the other half of the universal energy, Divine Masculine energy. Cool, cool. So I'm going to need you to breathe with me on this. Here we go. Still point. My goddesses, please. 3 cards, past, present, future, for the Divine Feminine guide in the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for January, February 2020 or timeless, please. Where has this Divine Feminine guide been on the path in this twin flame contract? Past. That's what I meant to say. Please, my goddess, where is this Divine Feminine guide now in this twin flame contract present? Where is she headed in this twin flame contract future? They're all face down. We're going to do the same with the Divine Masculine, and then I'll read them straight across. Breathe. My gods, please. 3 cards, past, present, future, simple timeline for this Divine Masculine orphan child in this twin flame, this Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract, January, February 2020 or timeless, please. Where has this orphan been in this contract? Where is he now in this orphan contract? Where is he headed in this orphan contract? Okie dokie. We're going to start with the Divine Feminine, work our way across. Where has she been? Well, the Death card, right? So she's coming out of most likely the Phoenix transformation. Usually that means rising, not going to, when it's in the past. A complete, perhaps total transformation, but, you know, we're looking at a Divine Family archetype here. This does feel more Divine Family than Wisdom. Just saying. I know it can share both and can be both simultaneously, but with the card of transformation, come on. It's the Phoenix. It's about rising from the ashes, about a total transformation from the bones out, which is why the skeleton is so often depicted in the Death card. That's what I like about Daughters of the Moon. We actually have a Phoenix, a woman rising from her own ashes in fire through spiritual transformation, the alchemy of fire, the burning of the twin flame contract. So perhaps she's already been through a good long haul of this transformation. Where is she now? Well, cooling off with the moon. There we go. 2 major arcana cards. So like I said, a very strong intuitive yin, divine, feminine thing going on here. Honey, you're always on your path. We're all always. It's like even on my my laptop, which is sitting in front of me. It's a Matt Kahn quote. You cannot ever go off course. It's all a part of your journey. But there are times when you're standing at the side of a lake or an ocean at full moon at midnight, and the path reveals itself, but the path is always there. Go with your gut, go with your flow, but do understand there might be emotions obscuring that, right? Like clouds before the moon. No, my darling, everybody knows this. There's a difference between an intuitive feeling and an emotion, right? Because a Hallmark card commercial made you cry doesn't necessarily mean that someone's sending you a card, right? You know, so be careful with the interpretation, because like I said, the emotion comes before the manifestation, so the intuition can let you know. But sometimes, for example, the emotion of fear is wrapped around an intuition that yes, things are changing, but there might be loss. But keep in mind, sometimes we lose things that we need to lose, and sometimes we lose things that we're happy to lose, right? So it's not saying what the quality of the experience will be, but it means that there's a change coming, and usually change means loss of some kind, right? So pay attention to that, go deeper. Allow the fear, breathe through the fear, and go, okay, well, what is the nugget of gold as I burn through this lead coating of the emotion? Good way to say it. Where is she headed? Oh, lovely. 10 of Flames. Now, look, the traditional Rider-Waite deck, right? 10 of Flames looks like a fucking nightmare. It's overburdened. Not this deck. This is the Hora. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila. If you're not familiar with it, it is a circle dance done at, well, I was going to say Jewish bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, but I don't think there's any other kind. There's bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, and Jewish weddings, right? I've been to a bunch. They're fun. I've had a lot of fun at Jewish weddings. I really, really have. And bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, the food. Oh, I went to one where they cut oranges in half and like hollowed them out, kind of sort of froze them, and then served vodka shots out of them. Never forgot. See, the things that Dionysus archetype never forgets, but it's like a really good time. And I think that's what this card is saying here, a fulfillment of desire. It feels like our divine feminine guide here, having gone through, if you like, both fire and water here, purification by fire, right, following the intuition, following the path by water, ends up in a place of real completion, fulfillment of desire, getting what she wants. But then, of course, like any 10, provides the seed for the new beginning, the Ace of Flames coming in next. Cool, cool. That's just lovely for her. Follow your guidance, girl. Let's look at the Divine Masculine. Where has he been? Interesting. The King of Wands, which is the Aries card. Now, what I love about these two decks is they're not ambiguous about the zodiacal connections to their court cards. So here we literally have a ram, like in the picture itself. And we're looking at an initiator here. The King of Wands being the more mature aspect of the element of fire in the zodiac. Even though it is the first sign of the zodiac, the child, which let's draw that conclusion. Let's just make that connection, right? So Aries, first sign of the zodiac, known as the child, and we've got the child archetype here. So definitely a thing of initiation, of wanting to start something here, of wanting something brand new, that impetus of fire to create, right? To begin something. Have a weird feeling about it, though. Don't. Well, okay, because it feels like 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. It's like I really, really want it, 1 foot on the gas, but I don't know. What if? 1 foot on the brake. So it's a little herky-jerky, and I think that might be why the card of focus is here. It's like, well, take a breath, focus. Where is this divine masculine now? 4 of Swords. Card of focus, right? A card of introspection, right? Mental, but certainly a focusing of the mind inward. You could even say this is meditation, even if it's not the Eastern silent type, that sort of stuff, mindfulness meditation. so much as it is perhaps contemplation, like really going within. Like, again, the Rider-Waite, you got 3 swords above, 1 below, the dude who's laying down. And by the way, his hands are tented like that. He ain't dead. It would have been that way, right? So in a place of prayer and meditation, going within to find the guidance, the grace, the piece of information in the inner world. Right? Introspection. Again, focus totally makes sense. Where is he headed? Well, very interesting. We've got 2 kings. The King of Swords here, the Libra card. So we go from a King of Wands, fire, to King of Wands, water, air. And really what we're looking at there are opposite signs. Aries and Libra are opposite signs, complementary opposites, fire and air. You can't have fire without air. You can have air without fire. But very, very interesting. There might very well be other people involved in this situation in terms of this orphan child in their past and in their future that is really in this moment making them contemplate. Now, my sense is that they know who this person is. That's part of the contemplation here. Though the Lover's card is not indicated here. Again, if this was a one-on-one reading, if I was reading, I would be pulling other cards to clarify this, but we're not going to do that because it's a general reading. But we really are looking at very, very powerful masculine energy dynamics there. Because the King of Wands, is fire is an element, a masculine element, as is air. So there's a dominant thing here, at least about creative will, fire, desire, and creative thought and process and finding the balance, fairness in decision-making process, and that it all balances out somehow. Yes, both that Aries and Libra, so we're saying 1st house and 7th house, can be aspects within the divine masculine growing and maturing as an orphan child will as they heal. That as the orphan heals, it's sort of like, remember that stifling of maturation? Soul retrieval. You pull those energies from the past into the future, perhaps by letting them cry. Inner child work, which I am huge on and have been doing since the 80s, on and off. Talk to the heart child. If you're the divine masculine orphan child here, talk to that child. Talk to the heart chakra like it is your inner child, because in a quantum sense it kind of is. Well, interesting timelines here, but we've got 2 more cards to hit the table that will give a bit more clarity here, particularly of what can be done here individually. Remember, twin flames. You don't help each other heal. You learn how to heal yourself. You heal yourself, you love yourself, you support yourself. Yes, selfish, but if I didn't say it already, there are people who are married to twin flames, right? Didn't know it was twin flame when they got married. You can love that person very much. There can be love absolutely in the marriage or in the relationship. Again, what if it's a family member? In that way, right? Genetically, right? Or a boss for that matter. You can still love and respect them. You can still be a good person. You can still be the spirit, the soul, the truth, the divinity that you are. It's sort of the challenge that a twin flame doesn't dictate your conduct. You dictate your conduct. Just saying. Which is why we're going to ask the higher selves of all involved to communicate through the Whispers of Love Oracle for you all. Now, keep in mind, the higher selves of all involved mean for the divine feminine guide and the divine masculine orphan. It's like they agree on this one card. So let's take a nice deep breath and find that still point, that balance. Still point. The higher selves of all involved, please, 1 card in clarity for this Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign twin flame contract for January, February 2020, and timeless if needed. Please, 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 1 card, a whisper of love to help them heal themselves, to help them love themselves. Some insight, a clue, a tip, a hint. Have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Trust your faith in this situation. Have faith. Now, gotta say, again, with that true love card and with the divine family archetype of the guide, and even that orphan child finding their way, right? Independence, finding their own way through things. which of course might very well reject the guidance of a guide just because of that. For them both to have faith that there is a higher power here. Now, the thing is faith is a grace. It is something that, in a sense, we all have, but we don't always feel like we have access to. Faith is a thing of the soul, different than trust, different than hope. Faith is that somehow, faith is like a torch, right? Like a flashlight showing you the next few steps ahead. Like, how do I get through this today? Let me have faith that somehow this is all happening for me to help me grow, to help me heal, twin flame contract, to help me how to learn how to love myself. And I can do that, otherwise I wouldn't be in it. So let me have faith in that. Let me trust, the words here, trust your faith in this situation, that somehow this is for your betterment and for the highest good of all concern, which is true, because as we even heal, even if this orphan child here heals like a teeny tiny bit of their emotional pain of neglect, because the orphan child comes from neglect, is able to love that little tiny, it heals in everyone, everywhere, that tiny little piece. So trust that this is all happening for a purpose. Let go of our reason. Reason is human. Gods don't truck in, angels don't truck in human reason. They truck in divine purpose. I mean, you think they're going to tell us what it is all the time? What's the point of forgetting? Coming down here. We're just going to insist on seeing the script every 10 seconds. No. They're not going to go for it, because we agreed. And the trick is getting that we were chosen, but now we have to choose. And that's manning up, pardon the gender of that. It's like, all right, then fine. And if I got to choose, let's do this. Let's heal, right? If that's what this relationship is about, then fine. But that's okay, because we have help. We have the Healing Mantra deck by KAHN. KAHN is the same guy. I said check the video in the description box about Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. I love this deck. It's so helpful for me personally. I pick one a day. Sometimes I'll extend it to 2 or 3 days if it's particularly hitting me in a certain way. What this is going to do is give you a healing mantra, hence the name of the deck, to help whether you are the Divine Feminine Guide or the Divine Masculine Orphan, right? That is, you repeat this mantra as you acclimate yourself to it. It's signaling to the soul that you are ready to heal in whatever way is indicated here, right? So it's a willingness. Otherwise, it's just words. Not an affirmation. There's a difference between an affirmation and a mantra. Affirmations are tools that you use, a statement of truth to condition the subconscious mind. The mantra will be eventually accepted by the subconscious mind, but that's to communicate to the soul. It's like, okay, we're ready to do this now. It's just a different process. Not trying to condition anything with a mantra, usually. So let's do this. One side of the card is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up. The other side is the mantra itself. And we are asking the Ascended Masters who gave us that card of control and that card of true love. So let's ask them with a nice deep breath. Exhaling first, for me. Still point. My Ascended Masters of Twin Flame Soul Contracts, please, one card for this Sagittarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract for January, February 2020 or timeless. Please, one card in clarity. What is the healing mantra for this Divine Feminine Guide and this Divine Masculine Orphan, that they may heal themselves, that they may love themselves, that they may do what is needed to fulfill their role in this Twin Flame contract, fulfill this contract at least on their side of things, please, my masters. What is their healing mantra? Uncovering confidence. Uncovering confidence. Now, confidence for the guide to have confidence in the guidance that she's getting. Confidence for the orphan to take this journey on their own. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. In other words, you're part of the divine plan. You're part. Everything's part of the quantum. Doesn't make you special, makes you holy, but that makes everybody else holy, even if they're being as holy. Isn't that just the spiritual path? There's free will. We go, oh, if it's all in the divine plan. Where's the free will in that? It's like, well, do you want to play it holy or ass-holy? There you go. Letter shadow. What's the narrative? What is the narrative? As I said to someone I love dearly who's just lying and deceiving left, right, and center a lot of people in their lives. I was just one person. I said, you're as... my darling, you are as sick as your secrets, right? It's like, this is going to eat you alive. Not going to say it's going to give you cancer, but it will eat you away like cancer does. And he said, well, what if that's my punishment? I was like, oh my God, you're a villain. Oh my God, you're a villain. You could be the hero. What's the narrative? You with me? The narrative. I'm the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. Let me read you this one. This is a hot one. I've got this one before. Uncovering confidence. Opened right to it. Nice deep breath. You take this in, my Saggies. Uncovering confidence. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. When confidence is uncovered, you are living from a space of renewed purpose, not reason. You know your place in the cosmos, and you are an expression of eternal light. You are. We all are. There is no wavering on decisions or second-guessing your instincts. Confidence allows you the peace of mind to stand tall in your truth and move forward courageously. Knowing anything that comes your way can only inspire the gift of endless expansion. In other words, you kind of get, like I said, oh, have faith. This is serving me somehow. Rock and roll. Then I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. That this can't go off without me. That I am part of this contract and there's work for me to do. Then let me do that. Here's my contribution. I am willing to love myself. I am willing to learn how to heal myself, whatever it takes, and bless the crap out of the other person, silently if necessary, in order to film my way through it. And that's not being a good little boy or a good little girl. That's mastery development. Let's give you your overview. Magic clap. We're going to start with the Divine Feminine guide here in the shadow. Places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Everybody does it once or twice until they get socked in the gut intuitively or literally in some way. But, you know, to alchemize that into the light attribute represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself, which I feel like this Divine Feminine with the Death card behind her and the Moon card where she is now in the contract, absolutely burned off a lot of what did not serve. Probably a lot of doubt, probably a lot of self-recrimination, guilt, and blockages that allows her now to be in the flow of her both emotional world and her intuitive guidance and grace from within. With that card of the Moon, it does feel like Yemaya is shining the path, which is always there, but illuminating it for this Divine Feminine guide archetype right beneath her feet, bringing her that path to the Ten of Flames. Absolutely a completion of desire, but something really joyous here, like a sense of relief, like really crossing a finish line that really needed to be crossed, and maybe that is in personal development. And with that card of manifestation, with that angels there, that does make sense. That something is definitely manifesting here, coming from death and still on that intuitive path, moving forward full steam ahead, leading to that Ten of Flames. And then we jump over here to the Orphan archetype. We've got the King of Wands, the Aries card in the past, saying that there is definitely some sort of initiation of this person, even though, you know, it's the more mature, right? One would think King of Wands aspect different than, say, the Page of Wands, but definitely that thing of striking out on their own, initiating something on their own, healing self, right? What is the first house? Self, ego, personality, right? So all that self-healing stuff going on in Aries. Bringing him to this present moment in this contract of Four of Swords, and with the card Focus right above it, there's no coincidence there. Well, there are none. They're just synchronicities in the quantum field, but really saying, look inward, kid, right? Just because it's a child or archetype, focus your energies inward towards yourself, love yourself, heal yourself, think about yourself, not necessarily in the narcissistic sense, but the Four of Swords is a card of contemplation and meditation, as well as self-reflection. Bringing him into the King of Swords, which is definitely a more mature, balanced, liberated in cardinal air. So going from cardinal fire to cardinal air here, but with a sense of maturity, perhaps moving forward in a safe and balanced way for that child, that orphan child, with focus. Keeping in mind, the higher selves of both have said, have faith, trust your faith in this situation. Essentially saying that it is for the highest good of all involved. It is scripted. You can't get it wrong. You cannot ever go off course. It's all a part of your journey. Have faith in that as you are uncovering confidence with the mantra that I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. For myself, for this contract, all I have to do is survive it. So I am going to love the missing piece that I am that completes the puzzle of the universe, whether that I am the divine feminine guide or the divine masculine orphan child. And there we have it. My Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. That is your twin flame contract, and may the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their twin flame contracts for January, February 2020 are timeless. May they heal, may they grow, may they find the true love that they truly are, right? May they manifest to that sense of victory, that sense of completion. May they bring the focus necessary so that they can deal with their own control issues. Have faith that this is all happening for them and that they can uncover the confidence of the divine already at core within all of life for the well-being of all. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching my Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Always a pleasure reading for you all. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed as I sign off from my heart to yours. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.